Alright, I'm trying something new. I got my freeze dryer. I had no intention of doing candy. I got it more for long-term storage. I thought this is a waste of a really expensive piece of equipment. But I got sucked into it. I keep seeing stuff online how good it is, so I'll run a batch of a few things to try it out. This is what I'm going with. Got these Rolos I hear are good. Jolly Ranchers, I don't know, hit or miss. Skittles seems to be a big hit. That's the only flavor they had at the store that I went to, so that's what I'm trying. And then I've heard a lot about Taffy and saltwater Taffy, and people do Laffy Taffies. They were all out of that too. I couldn't find it at 2 different stores, so it must be pretty popular. So I'm gonna try these little Taffy bites. I've never tried them before, so now I'll try them freeze dried. But this is the share size Skittles, 15.6 ounces, I think, so not quite a pound. I love that shrinkflation. I think they used to be a full pound, but anyway, here's the setup I got. Skittles. This is large trays, large freeze dryer, and that was 2 of those size Skittle bags, and then minus a handful, just because I wanted a little bit of room for expansion in there. But I haven't done this before, so hopefully that's not too tightly packed, and see how it goes. Same thing, I got another tray on the top, 2 of those bags minus a handful, which was properly disposed of. So going down, I've got the unwrapped Rolos. I've got them spread out pretty far. I'm kind of guessing they're going to expand a lot. I've seen some videos of milk duds and stuff. They blow up pretty big, so we'll see what happens with these. If they're not so puffed up, then I can do more next time. Unless they suck, then we won't do that. Never line this thing up. The other one I'm trying here is the Jolly Ranchers. Unwrapped all of those, which is kind of a pain. You can see I got them spread pretty far in the front, a little bit closer in the back. I'm just trying different things because I don't know how much they're going to puff up or if they're going to do anything at all. I have no idea. I have not seen any videos of those being done, just like the Rolos. And the interesting one here for me is the Starburst. I have them unwrapped. All the videos I have seen and online content, they're all unwrapped. So I did a row of those. And then I was at a farmer's market a while back, and somebody had packaged and was selling these freeze-dried candies, and they had Starbursts. They were still inside the wrapper. So I don't know how they did that, but I'm going to experiment to see if it works. So in the front row I have some that are completely wrapped up still as they come. I face them all upright because I assume once they freeze and then start puffing, they'll expand and maybe unwrap themselves a little bit. It's wax paper, so it should be okay. I mean, as far as the heat and stuff goes. I wasn't going to try it with the Jolly Ranchers because that's just completely wrapped in plastic, and there's no way moisture will get out of that properly. I'm not even sure about this, but I've seen somebody else do it, so I'm going to try. Then I got a few that are kind of open just to give it some help. And then I got a few that are face down to see what happens there. So just a few different ways of seeing, trying out a few different ways to see what happens. And then of course the unwrapped ones. And those are them Laffy Taffy bites, whatever they're called, laugh bites. Yeah, got my classic freeze dryer person Sam's Club tote there that everybody buys to stash all their stuff. So that's on this tray. I'm a little concerned about them taffy things expanding. I hope they're not all mushed together afterwards, but we're gonna give it a try. So, and as you're seeing, just another tray of the wild berry Skittles. So we're gonna give that a go. I just put in the new software Harvest Right sent out for candy mode. We'll see how it turns out. So, be right back. Also, one more note. I'm not sure what settings this goes at for candy. Like I said, it's my first try, but that's as cold as it gets. This extra freeze time is new with the update from what I had before, so and the temperature goes up to 150 now. I don't know what it was before. But it's like 135 to 150. It turns, this candy mode comes on. So I don't know where it's supposed to be, so I figured right at 140 we'll give it a try. And then the extra dry time, when I'm doing other stuff, meats or fruit or whatever, I put quite a bit of extra dry time, but I'm not sure that the candy needs all that. But I put 4 hours on there just to see how it goes. So everything else I've done, it seems like you can't over dry it. I mean, you can have the heat too high and burn it, but time-wise, it doesn't seem like you can overdo it. You want every bit of moisture out if you're going to package, especially for long term. The other thing I had read on the candy stuff is that some people are preheating it. I think that was actually in the slideshow for the new update as well, but they want you to run the heater in there and preheat the trays for like 20 minutes before. I guess candy turns out better when you do that, so I'll do that for a little while and then we will start it. Okay, here's the finished products. You can see the Skittles did well. They all popped open. They're crunchy. So those worked. They taste pretty good, I guess. Just very airy, crunchy bite. It's a little different, but those are good. I see why they're so popular. Onto the Starbursts here. These kind of puffed up, and I did try each of these things. They're just fluffy and airy. Obviously there's no water in them, but they're turn them from chewy to very crunchy. With my wrapper experiment, also seemed to work. I opened one of these and ate it, and it was the same as the ones that were not in the wrapper. So I would say you can do these inside of the wrapper and they still work. And that was, I mean, the ones that were fully closed, they kind of just popped themselves open a little bit as they expanded. But they still puffed up like the other ones. Oops. Here's the one. Well, these two stuck together. This is the non-wrapper ones. These are the ones that were face down. They've puffed up. I can feel they're all bulged out just like the others. So I guess it works inside the wrapper. The Laffy Taffy bites, they're kind of weird. They're not the same as regular taffy. Kind of have this slightly harder skin to it, I guess. Not quite like a M&M or nothing, but they did puff like that, and they're crunchy too, but they're a little bit stickier still, so I guess they probably need more time. Some of them got their sugars coming out the end like that. And the Jolly Ranchers, these are good. Tried one of these. It's just a big poofy airy ball of Jolly Rancher. but it's quite a mouthful. But they taste exactly the same, just a different texture. So I would say those worked out too. Overall, all this stuff I think needs a little bit more drying time. I just ran it on default settings with the new candy software, but I think a little bit longer would be good. There's a little bit of stickiness to it yet, but I'm not sure if that goes away or not. They're just pure sugar. So the Rolos are now little cow patties. This did not work out at all. I already tried one of these too, and as you can see, it's still flexible. It's chocolate, and I know chocolate doesn't do well, but I know of people doing these and turning out really good. They still taste good. I mean, it's chocolate, but they are not really freeze-dried very well at all. There's got to be something different to doing these. See, they're kind of like little no-bake cookie looking things, but taste like a Rolo. They basically just melted instantly as soon as that vacuum pump turned on. And because the candy mode went straight to drying. I'm not sure what that's about, but they just instantly melted in the vacuum. So gotta research a different way to do Rolos, but everything else I guess turned out okay. There's the second tray of Skittles. So not too bad. Enjoy.